Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Grossball and welcome to the JesseAF show. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2019, episode 58 of my daily podcast. Yeah, that's right, daily. That means every single day I'll be posting a new episode. So please, check in tomorrow for my next episode. I'm on Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. So if you have any of those platforms, please consider subscribing. That way you get notifications for whenever I post a new episode. Today, I'm going to be talking about standing out. And standing out is a lot of fun. It's actually kind of scary at the same time if you're really not used to standing out in a crowd. But my whole life, I've always been picked on. And it's been about my height, my food allergy, this thing, that thing. It's whatever. Honestly, I'm used to it. And no matter what you say, no matter what I say that may look silly or stupid in any way, shape, or form, that's just who I am. I'm sorry. This is who I am, and I'm happy to be myself. I know there's plenty of you out there that are laughing at this podcast, and I'm completely okay with that. And I'm actually happy about that, to be honest. And standing out from the crowd is a very big thing. It's like you're being different. You are different from everyone else you know. And you are doing something that nobody else in your community is even doing. And you're just standing out. You're standing up for what you believe in. And you're being you. And you're talking about your life. Guess what? When you do that, you're different. And when you're different, you get stuff done. It's not bad to be different. Let me just say that. Again, it's not bad to be different. Everyone is different. And the point that everyone thinks is everyone needs to be the same. Everyone needs to graduate high school. Everyone needs to go to college. Everyone needs to have perfect grades in school. Everyone needs to get the best job in the world right as soon as they're out of college. Everyone has to get married at this age. Everyone has to have kids at this age. Why? Why is that necessary? And the point is standing out is probably the most important thing you can do. And if you try and blend in with the crowd, you'll just be boring. You'll be normal. Normal doesn't exist. But being different is something to be proud of. Because why would you want to be like everyone else in your community if your community itself is failing? You don't want to be like your community if it's failing, if it's not going anywhere with the world, if it's just staying old, if it's just staying in its ways. You don't want to be like your community. You want to grow. You want to outreach. You want to learn new things. You want to do different things. Sure, it's silly to go into a job that you have no experience in, but at the same time, it gives you new experience. I mean, that's the only reason why you live, right? To have new experiences. So why is it a bad thing to go from one job where you professionalize in something and you are great at what you do and you just completely throw it out and you're like, I want to try something else today. I want to work somewhere else today. Why not? That's okay. You don't have to do the same thing for the rest of your life. You can try 100 different jobs for the rest of your life. That's okay. That's fine. That's you. And when someone tells me, "Oh, your podcast is a joke," okay, at least I'm not making you mad. That's all I care about. If I was making people mad with this podcast, if people absolutely freaking hated me for everything that I said, if they were like, "You are wrong on all levels," okay. Let's try to clarify some things. It's my point of view. It doesn't matter if it's not your point of view, but I don't like making people mad. Sure. But I like making people laugh. And if people are laughing at me for making this podcast every single day, go ahead, laugh. The world is a better place when people are laughing. I'm serious. I don't care if I'm not supposed to be a comedian. I could be a comedian. I'm pretty funny. I think I'm pretty funny. Yesterday, I was actually thinking about just picking up a rock and being like, hey guys, look, I found a rock. Or look, it's a tree. I don't know. It's random stuff, but this is who I am. I'm fine with who I am, and this is just normal for me. It's a way of life, and if you think that you can hurt me by making fun of me, or you can just post like, oh man, this guy is a goofball, you shouldn't watch him. I don't care. At least you're posting about me. That's all I care about. If you're posting about me, that would be cool in my book. I mean, it's like, they actually are paying attention to me at all in general. Not exactly what I'm saying, but they're paying attention to me. And that's the best part. But every single day of my life, I've always had people picking on me for different things, for who I am and for how tall I am or whatever else it is. I'm not the tallest guy in the world. I don't need to be. I'm also one of the youngest guys that I know. I look really young for my age. I don't look like I'm 23. I look like I could be 18. I don't know. That's just my mindset, to be honest. I probably do look 23 to 18-year-olds, but I don't see it. The point is, though, be you. And if someone has something to say about it, just say thank you. That's what I do. I say thanks. If someone says something where they're trying to make fun of me, I'll just be like, oh, thanks. They'll just be like, what? Thanks? I thought I was going to get something better out of him from that. I'm going to try harder next time. It's like, if anyone's ever trying to spend time on you in any way, shape, or form, that means they like you in some way. I mean, if they didn't like you, or if they didn't hate you, I mean, that's a possibility. But if they didn't like you, or if they didn't hate you, and you just kind of blended into the society, what's the fun in that? I think it would be way better to be seen and made fun of, or seen and I don't know, glorified, rather than just blending in and disappearing. I don't want to disappear. I don't want to be invisible. If I had a superpower, it would be to be as big as I could be, you know, to have everyone know who I am. I would love that. That'd be my superpower. I would not want to be invisible. And there are people that want to be invisible. But why do you want to be invisible? Because you're afraid of who you are? That's no fun. Be happy with who you are. That is the point of life. Be happy with who you are. My voice is awful in my mind. I hate my voice. I do. I hate listening to it. But it doesn't mean everyone else in the world hates listening to my voice. That's why I'm speaking. I have people following me. I have 9 views every single day. Sure, it's gone down a little bit. It's fluctuated. It's gone all over the place. But it doesn't matter. The point is, I'm happy with who I am. And if you have something to say about, talk about as much as you want. I don't care. I'm not upset. And let's see the time. I think I'm pretty good still. But it's just, it's like, why do you think it's so necessary to feel like you have to make fun of me? But at the same time, it's like, I don't care. You can make fun of me. I make fun of me. I make fun of me on a daily. I do some very funny stuff, some silly stuff. I mean, who wouldn't make fun of me? It's simple, make fun of someone. On the other hand, I'm a good guy. You might not know it. You might know it from this podcast, from just listening to me every single day. Man, that guy knows what he's talking about. I'm not talking about things I don't know what I'm talking about with. Like, I'm not talking about trains and how trains run and how the locomotive is the powerhouse of the train, and how I don't even know how heavy a single cart is by itself. But the point is, I'm not talking about stuff that I don't know anything about. I'm just talking about the things I know. And that's all. This is a daily podcast that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. 365 days a year. I know I missed one early on. Maybe it was like the first week. But who cares? Honestly, I could end this podcast tomorrow. I could skip a whole week and I would still be happy. Because this is my podcast. It's not your podcast. It's my podcast. I can do whatever I wanted with this podcast. Sure, it would be very hard to follow if I would do every other day and then every single day and then no days and then a week later I go back to it. It'd be very hard to follow this podcast if it was like that. Sure, I could do it, but I don't want to do it. I can change the time from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. I could. But maybe you wouldn't be up at that time. I chose 12 o'clock because it's a normal lunchtime kind of thing. And maybe you listen to my podcast on your way to lunch. I don't know. Who cares? I enjoy making this podcast, and I hope you guys really enjoy listening to my podcast. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. I know I did. It's so important to be yourself. And when you are not yourself, why? Why be someone else? It's not important. Not important to be anyone else but yourself. Be yourself. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.